Welcome to That's Bad Broncos. I am Brandon Perna, and today I am telling you why you should be rooting for a Broncos loss on Sunday. If you want them to win, then you must want more of the same. You must enjoy cycling through a head coach every 2 to 3 years and always missing the playoffs and signing bridge QBs who lack the structural integrity to build a damn bridge. Plus, you need a QB waiting on the other side of the bridge for you. And Denver can't figure that out. So today, Broncos fans should be screaming, "Go Chargers, go!"
Go Chargers, go!
It's good Broncos versus Chargers predictions. Take a second, subscribe to this channel, especially if you like Broncos videos and Broncos podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. The NFL season is winding down. The playoffs will be here before you know it, except if you're a Broncos fan. And if DraftKings can help you out, they're gonna do it. They're an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The offers are getting even more amazing with the postseason. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game, and if they do, you win $200 in free bets. Don't miss out on this action. DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also get NFL action with same game parlays, combine multiple bets for bigger payouts. Do it. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Just use code DNVR when you sign up over at DraftKings, which is safe, secure, and reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your money whenever you want. Again, that's code DNVR to take advantage of all of DraftKings offers. Under head coach Vic Fangio, the Broncos have won 4 of 5 games against the Chargers. They do not want that streak to continue. Broncos and Chargers fans have something in common this week. They should both be rooting for Justin Herbert and the Chargers to beat the Broncos this Sunday at SoFi Stadium.
Go Chargers, go!
Yeah. I'm going to tell you why that's going to happen and whether I think the Chargers will pull it off. First, let's recap the last few times these teams have met up. Earlier this season, the Chargers were undone by the greatness of Pat Surtain. While in the late 2020 affair, the Broncos were undone by Jerry Jeudy's dropsies, which for some reason only happens when Drew Lock is throwing him the ball. Maybe that's because only Drew Lock throws him the ball.
Go Chargers, go!
Now the 7-8 Broncos enter this game 1 game back at the Chargers, who are at 8-7, and still have a shot to make the playoffs. Technically, the Broncos are not eliminated yet, but it's likely the math shall end them before Denver kicks off on Sunday afternoon, which I can relate to after my accountant told me due to my frivolous spending on anti-Shermer propaganda ads, math will likely end me as well. So many billboards I've purchased. The Broncos don't have anything to play for in their last 2 games this season, unless you believe momentum carries over from one season to another. I used to think that. Then I saw the 2019 Broncos, who won 3 of their last 4, turn into the 2020 Broncos, who were an abomination of a football team. Look, if you think the Broncos still have a playoff chance, well then let me see if you're interested in purchasing an NFT of my dick for $2 million. As soon as you're out of the playoffs, the number 1 priority as a team should be to secure the best possible draft position for the upcoming offseason, or develop the QB you drafted last year so he can work out the kinks in games that don't matter. Now I say offseason and not draft for the Broncos because there's a decent chance the Broncos don't even use their 2022 first rounder. Oh God, I hope. God, I hope. Aaron Rodgers. Russell. Gardner Minshew. Give me any of them. That should be doubly true if you're a team without a quarterback, which the Broncos most certainly are. The Broncos are currently sitting at 11th in the draft, wedged right in between the Vikings and the Falcons. Tankathon has them taking offensive lineman Akeem Ikwonu from NC State. I don't actually know anything about him, but if you think I'm saying Akeem Ikwonu and Albert Ogowebanam every week, you can fuck right off. I'll just fully commit to rooting for the Bills in 2022 with their aptly named lineman, John Falacio. Now the Broncos, if they lose out, they can climb into the top 10. If they win their last 2 games, they can fuck themselves into the late teens, potentially as high as 18. Unless it's Peyton Manning, I don't want to see 18 tied to the Broncos this offseason. This draft is obviously not about getting an offensive lineman out of NC State. It's about securing the quarterback of the future. You can use that pick on a guy like Kenny Pickett. You can pick Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, Carson Strong, Malik Willis, Desmond Ritter, etc., 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 etc. Or, God willing, that pick becomes an asset in a trade. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Gardner Minshew. Regardless of what you want to do with it, you're treating that pick as a valuable piece of real estate. And we're trying to get beachfront property. We're tired of getting placed in the suburbs, then getting stuck on the 405 on a Saturday and making it to the beach just as soon as it gets dark. Obviously, if the Broncos identify a quarterback that they want in the top 10, they can try to trade up like the 49ers did last year. But when the 49ers moved up from 12th overall to the 3rd pick, it cost them 2 first-round picks and an additional 3rd. That's expensive stuff for an unproven commodity. And the shorter distance you have to move up that draft board, the less it's going to cost your organization. Moving from the high teens into the top 5 would cost an arm and a leg, and another arm and another leg. That's all your limbs if you're keeping track, which is how the Broncos have been playing the quarterback position for the last 6 years anyway. Now, we've established that it's important for the Broncos to lose this game, but are they going to do it or fuck up and really lose by winning? Drew Lock may actually be the guy to save this franchise, just like we thought all along, by putting us in prime position to draft or trade for his replacement. How screwed up is that? If they play like they did last time, they matched up with the Chargers, the Broncos will once again win handily. The Chargers beat out the Broncos in terms of total offensive yards, but the Broncos won the turnover battle. Not that that means anything anymore. See last weekend and the Raiders game, and the Raiders game the season before. And the most surprising stat of the day was this. The Broncos converted 8 of their 11 third down attempts against the Chargers. Now, I don't think that's going to happen again. It doesn't really matter that it's Drew Lock instead of Teddy Bridgewater. This team has shown a total unwillingness to push the ball past the sticks. Probably because offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur will die defending throwing it short on 3rd down.
There are times in longer yardage situations where they don't allow you to throw the ball past the sticks, so you're in a situation where you have to catch it and run for it.
Just shut the fuck up! A lot of this game is going to come down whether Denver's rushing performance was an anomaly against the Raiders or whether or not they can reestablish their 2-headed attack on the ground. That's Michael Myers and Melvin Gordon. Last time these teams met, the Broncos ran the ball 33 times for 147 yards, almost exactly double what the Chargers put up on the ground. Melvin Gordon had 83 of those yards, while Michael Myers slashed and gashed the Chargers in the run and pass game. The Chargers were a bad rush defense then, and they're a bad rush defense now. Jesus, just look at what happened last week. 31-year-old Rex Burkhead, who I'm pretty sure the Texans only signed because he looks like Jack Easterby, rushed for 149 yards and a pair of touchdowns against Los Angeles. That's what the analytics say. Obviously, the major turning point in the last game was Pat Surtain's 2 straight picks against Justin Herbert, who's struggled protecting the ball this season. Herbert deserves all the praise, but he also needs to stop throwing so many damn picks. That was the coming out party for Pat Surtain as an elite corner. Not in the making, but right now he is an elite corner. I think that sequence was emblematic of how Justin Herbert has struggled in his 3 games against the Broncos. In those 3 outings, he just hasn't been as good as he is against the Raiders and the Chiefs. Herbert has a passer rating of 88, 6 touchdowns, 4 picks, and he's been sacked 7 times against Denver in his 2-year career. Oh, and he's lost 2 of those 3 games. The Broncos are the second best team on 3rd down in the NFL. At throwing short of the sticks.
They don't allow you to throw the ball past the sticks.
I can't reiterate how important losing is to rid ourselves of any future Shurmuring. No offense to Pat Shurmur the human. None at all. I wish him nothing but the best as a person. But Pat Shurmur the coach, well, I hope you get SoFi'd at SoFi Stadium, which stands for Shurmur ousted forever infinity. Drew Lock, meanwhile, is 2-1 against the Chargers, including what was probably the signature moment of his career, erasing a 21-point deficit and hitting KJ Hamler for the game-winning tutty as time expired last year. A memory so beautiful, I have absolutely no recollection of it. Something else that may save the Broncos. Omicron. COVID, which sounds like the last name of the next Broncos lineman in the draft. If the Chargers manage to lose with this list of Broncos players out of this game due to COVID and/or injury, the Chargers should be kicked out of the NFL and forced to prove their worth in the USFL this spring, which I made a video about on That's Good Sports. So what's the final score in this game? I think the Chargers will pull off a win. It's a must-win game for them and a must-lose game for the Broncos, but I still want this one to be close, and I think it is. Broncos 22, Chargers 24 on 3 Chargers TDs, all with 2-point conversions. The Broncos get 23 with 1 touchdown, a failed 2-point conversion, and 5 Brandon McManus field goals. That's what I said before that COVID list was finalized. Now I think the Chargers win by a lot. Happy New Year. Boom, and that's your That's Good Broncos prediction. Lose this one for the Gipper, Broncos. Lose it for him, I say. And of course, go Chargers, go. Go Chargers, go.